रघुनाथान्वितं सजीवं सान्त्वयितुं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् साधना ललिता श्रीविशाखसंयुतं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भक्तिश्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनाथाय नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्ये पाश्चात्यदेशकारिणे कृष्ण प्रेम प्रजायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरवाणी हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्ते तत्कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणम्य वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासंति गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण. Thank you very much for joining. We are continuing our discussion on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10. So, yesterday we discussed 10th chapter, shloka number 6th onwards till 10. Three shlokas of Chatur Shloki. So, yeah, some devotees can share what we discussed yesterday in short. Then we'll go to the 11th shloka, last of the Chatur Shloki. So, 6th, 7th.
6th.
Yeah,
Shish Prabhu, Shish Prabhu, it's the genealogical synopsis of universe. That means he explained how from Krishna, that is Hiranyakarbha, to Brahma, to Sevan Rishi, Kumar, Manuj and Rutra, how this is carried on. Then he also said that this Brahma Pitama, Krishna and Krishna is Prapitama. This is a you said, and even Brahma also comes from the energy of Krishna.
Yeah, 6th and 7th, both you can cover through. And 8th, yeah, anything else you want to tell? What 7th?
7th, you mentioned that it is a falashruti of result of hearing. That's what you mentioned, along with.
Correct. Yeah. So, what is the meaning of vibhutis? Can you explain?
Vibhuti, you said there are two types, like knowledge and power. These are two types of opulences.
Yeah, and yoga. The word yoga used there means the path of Bhakti yoga, as per Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, or it can mean the qualities of the Lord, as per Baldev Vidyabhushan. Okay, so Vibhuti Yoga. That is the title of this chapter. Hare Krishna. Is my voice audible?
Yes, sir.
On internet. Okay. 8th verse. Anybody want to share 8th verse?
If no one is there, then I will.
Yeah. Yeah. No response.
So the 8th verse is telling about the power aspect of the vibhuti, as we like there is knowledge and power aspect. So it's more about power aspect of the Lord is explained. And prabhava means how the Lord is the source and the cause of everything. And pravartate means that how Lord is the controller of spiritual and the material world. So that was
source
explained.
And cause, both, no, we discussed.
Yeah, source and cause is prabhava.
Prabhava.
Yeah, and pravartate means controller. How Lord is the supreme controller. And by knowing this, so Buddha Bhava Samanvita. So here it is said that that Bhava Samanvita means one attains the 4 rasas, as our acharyas has explained, attaining the 4 rasas, Sakya ras, Dasya ras, the Madhurya ras. So one attains that 4 rasas. So that was explained in that verse.
Yeah. Yeah. Bhakti Lila Mathu.
10.9. In 10.9, Abhideya process is discussed. Abhideya process of Bhakti Yoga, where the symptoms of pure devotee and activities of the Bhakti Yoga discussed. There we saw three main aspects: Smaranam, Shravanam, and Kirtanam, where the Smaranam Matta Chitta word is used for the remembering aspect, where the devotee fully engage in the Lord's form, name, pastime, and sweetness qualities. And second, Shravanam, the Bodhayanta word is explained, hearing aspect, where they explain where devotees explain where devotees explain each other the type of bhakti yoga and real nature of the Lord, and one-to-one process. You also said, no, one-to-one process, parasparam.
Parasparam
And
means one to one.
And the third word kirtanam, third aspect is a kathayam, the group activities like the chanting, and it also represent the 9 limbs of bhakti yoga, where again we discuss the word gata prana, the where the devotees sustain on Krishna's in spiritual as well as in material life, where you quote the shlokas yogakshema vahamiham, where the Lord personally take care of his devotee, and you gave the example of Baldev Vidyabhushan's the fish. Fish cannot live without water. Then next word we discuss the Tushyanti and Ramanti, that is the satisfying, pleasing, and enjoying. Enjoying the means here basically this bhakti alone, the devotees are satisfied and experiencing the happiness, enjoying within and
Not external, yeah.
not externally. So here two example are given as devotees is drinking nectar like Tushyanti means satisfied, and enjoying Ramanti, the young boy enjoying the smiling glance of the young girls. Two examples are given here. Then we discuss the this mysterious aspect of bhakti, means the materialistic people cannot understand it, how the devotee can enjoy this without dependence on external material these things. Then we also discuss the sadhana bhakti, means two types of sadhana bhakti: Vaidhi sadhana bhakti and Raganuga sadhana bhakti, where Vaidhi sadhana bhakti is in the mood of reverence, and Raganuga sadhana bhakti is in the mood of surrender. Where Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, the Aishwarya Bhav is there and they attain the Vaikuntha. And in Raganuga sadhana bhakti, their mood is surrender, and sweetness quality is there, the sweetness aspect is there, and they attain the Goloka. You also mentioned one point, ki anartha is still in their heart, and they enjoyed prema rasa of the Lord, and they are thinking in which rasa they want to serve in Golok. That's, and again we discussed the Srila Prabhupada commentary, where we saw the sadhana stage and a perfectist stage. In sadhana stage, the devotee relished the transcendental pleasure from service, and in perfected mature stage, the devotee actually situated in the love of God. And then we discuss a very nice example, that Bhakti Lata Bij, where Srila Prabhupada said ki devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sowed in the heart of the living entity, then, and if he goes on hearing and chanting, then this seed get fructified with regular watering of hearing and chanting. And then this spiritual plant of this devotional service gradually grows and grows, and it penetrates the covering of the material universe, and again it enters into the Brahmajyoti in spiritual sky, and there this plant again grows more and more. It reaches to the highest planets in the Golok Vrindavan, where they completely take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord and rest there. So similarly, the devotees who is fully absorbed in the love of God, they can't live for a moment without in contact, without being in contact with the Supreme Lord. where you gave the example of the fish can't live without the water. And such a devotee means he actually attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord. And these qualities are described in Srimad Bhagavatam. That's why this Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to devotees. That's all
Thank
we
you.
discussed.
Thank you, Mati. Very elaborate. Anybody want to share from 10th class what we discussed yesterday? 1.10. That was last verse we discussed. This from Saratirthana. Vishwan wanted to already share. Anybody else want to share? Visha Mataji, you want to share? Okay, Madhavan. Yes. You're unmuted, but voice is not coming.
Hare Krishna.
Now it's coming.
This verse is about Pariyojana. Tesam Satatayiktana Vijitam Tujipurvakam Tarami Buddhiyakam. And in this verse, in purport of Srila Prabhupada, he writes that even cannot follow the rules and regulations of the path of bhakti, but if he is sincere from inside, then Krishna gives him an intelligence by which he can come. That's much.
Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tamya. Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tamya. Okay. Anybody else want to share? Yes. Shloka, what we discussed? Yes.
Prabhuji, in this you have said about the sadhana bhakti, which is of two types, that is Vedi sadhana bhakti and then Raganuga sadhana bhakti. So, Vedi sadhana bhakti, then the people can go to Vaikuntha, but while practicing this Raganuga bhakti, they can actually get the love of Raja. And then in this, there was one analogy or one point that by which method do the devotees can get direct contact with you? So the answer was by Buddhi Yoga. Krishna says, I gave the understanding by which they can come to me.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else want to share anything? What we discussed yesterday? Yes. Kishore Namadev.
You mentioned about the different goals as related to Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. That is, for Karma Yoga, the goal is fruitive action. For Jnana Yoga, it's Krishna conscious with some mental speculation. And for Bhakti Yoga, it is Krishna plus Krishna consciousness and Bhakti Yoga also together. So these are different goals which were also discussed.
Bhakti Lila Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, here we discuss the Srila Prabhupada commentary, where Srila Prabhupada said, when we endeavor, you said actually, when we endeavor strongly, the path is slowly, simple but not easy, but progressively. Then we achieve the ultimate goal. And there you gave the example of this laps. Means we don't know which laps is ahead or race in the race. And next point is same point in Srila Prabhupada commentaries. The devotee is not intelligent enough to make the progress on the path of the self-realization, but if he is sincere and devoted, then to the activities of the bhakti yoga or devotional service, then Lord give him a chance to make progress or the attainment to him. So here you said the qualification is that the person always engage himself in Krishna consciousness with love and devotion.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mataji. We will go to the 11th shloka, that is last one in this Chatushloki. So we'll complete this Chatushloki and then go to the next section of Vibhuti Yoga actually. Yesterday we took questions already on the first three shlokas we have taken. So today we will discuss the fourth one. तेषाम् एवानुकम्पार्थम् अहम् अज्ञानजं नाशयामि आत्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता. Yes, Kishore Madhaprabhu, please read.
Yes, sir. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance.
Thank you. So now again the Lord is continuing speaking to Arjuna about the path of bhakti. How do we know it is the path of bhakti? Because previous shloka told bhajitam riti purvaka. So bhajan is possible on the path of bhakti only. And then the people on the path of bhakti only do this smarana, shravana, and kirtana. Okay, these are limbs of bhakti. So he is talking about devotees basically. He is not talking about other yoga paths. So now he is continuing Tesham, these people only. Okay, what they are going to do? He is saying these people, I am going to show the mercy. Eva means certainly. So previously it was told that there is no doubt that these devotees are doing my bhakti or they are avikalpakaha, means they are with determination. So in reciprocation, Lord also says, certainly I will also give them mercy. Okay. They are not failing in their determination and their endeavors. So I will also certainly give what? My anukampa. Anukampa. So my special mercy, I will give them. Okay. Aham, myself. Aham, I will give. And then here he is saying, what it will do, this mercy? Nashayami. It will destroy. What? Ajnana jam tamaha. That tamaha which is born from ajnana. Okay. Ajnana jam means to take birth. So nashayami ajnana jam tamaha. So this mercy will destroy the ajnana jam tamaha. And then he is saying that Atma bhavastho jnana deepena bhaswata. Bhaswata means bhaskara. Bhaskara means that which gives light. Sun. Sun is called bhaskara. So here bhaswata means Prabhupada is translated as glowing. Okay, that which gives light. Okay. Okay. And then he is saying that Atma bhavastho jnana deepena bhaswata. So dwelling in their hearts. So what Prabhupada is translated, we can see within their hearts. Atma bhava. I am situated in their hearts. So how does the Lord destroy the ignorance? Being situated in the heart. So which form he is saying about? He is telling about the Paramatma feature. Okay. And also for devotees, Lord himself resides in the heart. So there are many shlokas which say that I reside in the devotee's heart. So we know one very famous shloka that sadhunam hridayam aham, sadhuvo hridayam aham, sadhunam hridayam tu aham, madanyatena jananti naham tebhyo managapi. Okay. Sadhuvo hridayam mahyam. The sadhus are in my heart. Okay. And then he says, sadhunam hridayam tu aham. I am also situated in their heart. So Bhagavan is saying, I am also present not only as Paramatma, but also as the Bhagavan feature in the heart of devotees. Okay. So what is other shloka? So other shloka says that, okay, I'll show it in the database. It's an interesting shloka. You can see. And remember this, if somebody asks, oh, how are you saying that for devotees in the heart also Lord is residing? We heard that only Paramatma resides. So here he's saying in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto. Okay. This is a very important shloka. Devotees maybe if they can try to memorize. Okay, so I'm sharing another shloka that devotees can see. Yes, Prabhuji, please read the meaning here. You are on mute, I think.
Yes, Prabhu, sorry. Saints are my heart, and only I am their hearts. They do not know anyone but me, and therefore I do not recognize anyone besides them as mine. SB 9468.
Yeah, 9th canto, 4th chapter, shloka number 68, basically. So this is one of the verses, and then another is, so you can note down 9468. And see, proper translation is saying that he is in the heart. Okay. Next one is Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Okay, that is also one shloka, which is very famous. Yeah. Now, please read this. Okay, shloka I will recite.
Yeah.
Shrinvata Shraddhaya Nityam Granantascha Swacheshtitam Kalena Nati Dirghena Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. Yeah, please read the translation.
Persons who hear Srimad Bhagavatam regularly and are always taking the matter very seriously will have the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, manifested in their hearts within a short time.
Yeah, so here very clearly he's saying that those who are devotees who are engaging in the 9 limbs of devotional service regularly, especially five special devotional service acts, as we know. In one of them is Shrimad Bhagavatam, Nam Sankirtan, Shrimad Bhagavatam hearing, correct? And then there is Sadhu Sangha and visiting holy places like this. So there are 5 important limbs, okay, and worship of the deities. So these 5 who do regularly, okay, and who are taking the matter seriously, what they will have in their hearts? The personality of Godhead. Okay, so here he is saying very clearly Bhagavan, not Paramatma. Bhagavan Vishate Hridi. So this is 284, second canto, 8th chapter, shloka number 4. Okay. Yeah, so continue. So here he is saying Nashyami Atma Bhavastho, situated in the heart. Who is situated? So there is surely Paramatma, and also in the heart there is the Lord, who is in the Bhagavan feature. Okay. Bhagavan feature is also there. So he reciprocates Yoga Shema Mahamiham that he does. So anything which is directly done for the devotee is done by the Bhagavan feature. But there are other things which are like the normal maintenance of the things and etc. That is done by Paramatma feature. But Lord is specifically situated in the heart of devotees to fulfill the functions of specific functions of bhakti, which are related to Chit Shakti. Okay. And what he does, Jnana Deepena Bhashvata. He enlightens the heart. What Deepa? By the deep of Jnana. Which Jnana it is? This is not material Jnana or the Jnana Yoga. This is the spiritual subject matter. Okay, like we know the story of the South Indian Brahmana. He was not so much literate in this life, and but he had attained the stage of bhav because he might have progressed in the past life by studying the scriptures and by understanding the path of bhakti. He would have progressed, and then this life, when he was meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was crying while reading the Bhagavad Gita, whereas others who were still undergoing the study and they were like critical to him because they were Sanskrit scholars. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not appreciate them, but this Brahmana was appreciated. So we can understand that, yeah, his heart was enlightened, even though he is seeming to be, uneducated and illiterate. but his heart is enlightened. And also many times Prabhupada also says that even if somebody doesn't understand our philosophy, he can just chant Hare Krishna and he will get the enlightenment and he will get the knowledge. Okay, that is also there. Yeah. But it doesn't minimize the importance of doing the study. So that we'll discuss in purport. It's going to come. So basically, this verse overall it is saying that how Lord destroys the ignorance in heart of whom? Of devotees specifically, because these shlokas, 4 Chatushloki, are for those who are doing Smarana, Kirtana, and Shravana. Okay, and that is only done by devotees. So Lord personally destroys it in their heart. But for other yoga paths, he may not personally destroy it. Okay, and there are many, many shlokas for this. And there is another understanding which also we should have in this shloka, as we were discussing earlier, that there are two parts of any person. One is the Shraddha, which is faith, and there is another part which is Swabhava, his nature. So a practicing devotee may have some of the conditionings. Okay, let us say it as conditioning. Okay, so the conditioning is still there for the devotee in a practicing devotee. Okay. So these two parts are there in the practicing devotee. So till now, what was discussed was that his Shraddha is pure. Okay, 10.8 to 10. It shows that he has faith in Bhakti and he is doing it rightly. And 10.11 here is being shown that how he may have some contamination in the heart, but Lord is going to purify it. Those anarthas will be purified by the Lord in the heart. Okay. So even though last purport, if you see, and if you remember, Prabhupada, okay, not last, previous to that, he started the purport with the phrase that pure devotees. See, these are applicable to pure devotees whose characteristics are mentioned here, engage themselves fully in transcendental loving service of the Lord, like that. So he told about pure devotees, but immediately the next verse is saying about the how there is contamination in the heart of the devotees. Okay, so these two seem to be contradictory, right? How there is contamination in the heart, and Prabhupada is saying they are pure devotee and they are engaging in these things. So here in this purport also Prabhupada clarified in the preliminary stage, in the beginning stage of devotional service, what happens? They release the transcendental pleasure for the service of the Lord. In the mature stage, they are actually situated in the love of God. So here in the beginning stage, they may not be fully into the highest standards, but they may have some contamination, which Lord says, I purify in this next 11th verse. Okay. Let's read the commentary. Yes, Prajit.
Without the functioning of knowledge and other such elements, how can they attain you and how can they even strive for the goal? Question. All this is not at all necessary. Having the intention of giving them mercy by all means, even without them having to worry about attaining my mercy, since I myself make the endeavor to give them mercy. Tesham eva anukampartham. I being situated within the functioning of their intellects, Atma Bhavastaha, by the lamp of knowledge, knowledge arising from Bhakti, which is beyond the gunas, not sattvic knowledge, since Bhakti alone can reveal me, destroy the darkness born of ignorance in them alone, and not in their persons, such as yogis. I alone, Aham Eva, do this all of my own.
Yeah, so many words of the shloka are explained here. Okay. So, okay, some devotee are feeling sleepy, they can drink water or they can refresh and come. Okay. So, we can attentively hear. Yeah. So, without function, yeah. So, he is explaining in this shloka now that question is raised by opposition. Without the functioning of knowledge and other such elements, how can they attain you? And how can they even strive for that? So, here he is saying, okay, they have so much ignorance in the heart. Correct. What was told here? Agyana jam tamaha. So much ignorance is there. And since when it is? This is there from time immemorial. As we say it as anadi, without beginning. Anadi karma is there. Correct. So it is beginningless time. It is there. So question is how such deep ignorance will be removed? So Krishna is saying, answer. All this is not at all necessary. Okay. See, without the functioning of knowledge and other such elements, okay, so he's saying that how this knowledge, until unless one is very much advanced in understanding this knowledge, how can it will destroy the ignorance in the heart? So Krishna is saying, no, all that is not necessary. Means the very advanced knowledge may not be required, but he can have basic knowledge. Like many of the devotees, they may not have very fine understanding of the scriptures, but they can have basic understanding what is Atma, what is our relationship with Lord. It is part and parcel of the Lord, and some basic philosophy. But they are chanting 16 rounds, following say 480 principles. They very nicely advance also in bhakti. Okay, so that is mentioned here. Okay, and then he is saying in this same thing, what is there we explained earlier. He is saying, Tesham eva anukampartham. I myself take the endeavor to give them mercy. So many times Prabhupada explained this concept by one analogy basically. So he told there are people or there are animals which are like the monkey. So the children have to themselves endeavor to hold on to the mother. Okay. And they themselves have to make sure that they don't fall if the mother monkey is jumping. Correct. And their second example Prabhupada gave was the example of cat holding a kitten. So the cat holds a kitten. We can very much understand the kitten is very much carefree, like human child also. Okay, so the kitten is very much carefree, but the cat takes the responsibility. So this monkey example which is there, that is explained here as the other paths, like such as yogis. Okay, this is other path where they have to endeavor. Like for the path of karma yoga, if they don't have sufficient money, they cannot do yajna. Lord will not come and give them money. Oh, you don't have money to do yajna, I will give them money. You do your karma yoga. No, he will not do. As you endeavor, you get the money. Then path of jnana. If the heart is not pure, they cannot start the path of jnana yoga. So Lord will not come and purify their heart because, oh, you want to do jnana yoga, okay, I'll purify your heart. Not like that. And somebody wants to do ashtanga yoga and he is not having the control of the senses. So Lord will not come and tell, oh, I will control your senses. You do kindly ashtanga yoga. He will not do like that. For bhakti yoga, what he is saying? All that is not at all necessary. Whatever these people are doing. What is then the point? Since I myself make the endeavor to give them mercy, I being situated within the functioning of their intellects by the lamp of knowledge arising from bhakti, which is beyond the gunas, not sattvic knowledge again. So these three yoga system I told is sattvic knowledge, but not bhakti. So bhakti can reveal me and I destroy the ignorance. Okay. So as he said earlier, yoga shema mahamyam. I will give the spiritual as well as material assets, whatever required. So the cat example applies only for the path of bhakti. Okay. Yeah, please continue.
Why should they strive for this purpose? I have already said that I carry the responsibility of their spiritual and material welfare. Yoga Kshemam Mahamaya. I accept responsibility to supply all their material and spiritual requirements. These famous 4 verses which have been narrated are the essence of all topics in Gita, removing the misery and producing complete joy for jivas.
Yeah, so at that time when we discussed Yoga Kshema Mahamyam, that time we didn't had this line actually. I just explained that he takes care of the spiritual and material needs, but here exactly it is written. Okay, that he takes care of spiritual and material welfare. So that point was from here. And Lord is saying, I accept the responsibility myself. Like example is given, the husband accepts the responsibility of wife or the family. Okay, so he accepts. He carries the burden. Burden means responsibility basically. So just like bharya means uh, husband is for husband, the wife is called as bharya, means who carries the bhar or the responsibility of the wife, like that. Okay. Yeah, and then he's saying, yeah. So these 4 verses are very important. They remove the misery and produce joy for the jivas. And who are these jivas? These jivas are only devotees, the bhakti yogis, not other paths, and not demons or demigods or non-devotees, not any one of them. So what is the point then for other people who are not devotees? What should they do? So that will be explained now in the next shloka onwards. Okay, so let's complete this. Yeah. Yes, Praveen.
Yes, Baldev Vidyabhushan. See, since they have been existing in the darkness of ignorance for such a long time, how is it possible that you can illuminate their hearts?
Yeah, again, this
Not
question
for
is asked. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Not for Sanishtas, but for those who cannot maintain their lives without me. For my unalloyed devotees alone. Tesam eva.
Yeah, just
Since
1
they
minute.
are
I will
worthy.
clarify what is this term. Sanishtas is actually those who are not Kevala Bhakta. It's not fully devotees. Okay. Not Kevala Bhakta. Means they may be having some part of karma in their practice and little bhakti, or they may have more bhakti and less karma. It can be both. Okay. So, but they have mixture of karma, jnana, or yoga. Okay, they have some mixture, either less or more. So, which Vishwanath Thakur told it as Guni Bhut and Pradhani Bhut. So, they both are in this category only, Pradhani Bhut and Guni Bhut. Okay. So, they both comprise Sanishthas basically. That is the meaning of this term. Yes, Praji. So, basically, he's saying this verse is only for whom? Unalloyed devotees. Yeah, please continue.
Since they are worthy objects of my mercy, Anukampartham, I am situated with attachment for that soul, Atma Bhavastaha, like a bee in the lotus flower. Reveal in the Atma my dazzling form and qualities, and destroy darkness in the form of desires for objects other than myself, born from ignorance in the form of beginningless karma, which covers knowledge, Ajnan Jamatama, and by means of glowing lamp of knowledge concerning my form and qualities, Jnana Deepena Bhasvata.
Yeah, so again, all the terms are explained. Gandhispena, Bhashwata, Rankampar, what is the meaning of this? So yeah, one example is given just like a bee in the lotus flower. Okay. So Lord is situated here and having such attachment for the soul. Who is that soul? That is a devotee, my unalloyed devotee, these souls. Okay. So for them, I remove the darkness. What kind of desires I remove? I remove the anarthas, not the abhilasha. Anarthas are destroyed. Okay, what are abhilashas? Abhilashas are those desires which are there for attaining the Lord. Okay, so here you can see he is saying that darkness in the form of desires other than myself. There are desires which are other than myself that I remove. But the desire which is there for me, that I don't remove. Like that. Okay. Please continue.
I have been satisfied with their exclusive devotion to me, have been the quality of being responsible for bestowing and preserving whatever they need, Yoga Kshema, elevate their intelligence and destroy the ignorance within. I bear the responsibility for all this. They do not have to take pains for all this at all. This has already been stated with Yoga Kshema Vahamayam in Shloka 9.22. The intelligent people understand that what is glorified in the 9th and 10th chapter, which are the very womb of Gita, note they occur at the exact center of 18th chapter, is the essence of Gita.
Yeah, so again, Baldev Vidabhushan is saying that these 4 shlokas are the essence of Gita. Okay, this 10.8 to 11. Basically, Chatushloki. Okay. And who are these intelligent people? So these intelligent people are devotees only, because they only understand about this path of Bhakti Yoga. Yeah, please read Prabhupada's comment.
Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that is not the fact. There are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion.
Yeah, yeah. So devotees, when generally they are thought of, oh, they are hearing, chanting, dancing, they don't know about the Vedanta Sutra. So no, with the Vedanta Sutra, natural commentary Bhagavatam, and devotees know the Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam, like that. Yeah. Please continue.
But even if a devotee does not take advantage of the literature or of the spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness.
So this doesn't mean that one should stop reading books. See, even if a devotee does not take advantage of the literatures or his spiritual master, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within the heart. So somebody is in a situation where he is not able to do this, okay, then he is provided the intelligence. See, sincere word is important here. Sincere means one who has the facilities of taking association of spiritual master, guru, and Shastra. Sincerely, he will take the association of these two. But this sincere person doesn't have the access to literatures or spiritual master. He may be in some place where there is only like we recently heard in Antarctica, there was first time book distribution which happened. So there may not be so much of access to spiritual masters, personal association, and he may not be having any association devotee and any literature also. First time now Antarctica it reached. So, but they may have some sincerity in devotional service. They might have come to know about chanting, or just by receiving Bhagavad Gita, they became devotees by taking Prabhupada association from his purports and chanting Hare Krishna. So Lord within their heart will destroy. But if they have the access to literatures and spiritual master, they take the advantage because they are sincere. Okay. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. Yeah. So either they are directly reading the literatures and getting the knowledge, and parallelly doing the reading, hearing, chanting, whatever, all the things they are doing, or they are sincere but they are not having access to those things, then Krishna will provide them in the heart. Okay. And even though some people are reading literatures, but everything may not be revealed to them immediately, but seeing their endeavor to read the literatures, like Prabhupada put so much endeavor in writing this, and previous acharyas, they have written so much of literatures by their endeavors. By seeing our endeavor to read them, they may give mercy and we can understand it better. Okay, by their mercy, like that. So the only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. That is same thing, sincerity. Prabhupada is telling, because he has repeated this word 2 times here. Okay. So yeah, and whenever we have anybody who we are guiding or we are helping in devotional service, so we should see that they have both the things. They have the balance of their sadhana, basically reading, hearing, all these things, as well as they have balance of their seva. Because if somebody is doing only sadhana, then it will be like more of philosophical speculation, mental speculation, and he may do aparadh if he doesn't have good engagement. But somebody we have seen many times, this is a case that in ISKCON devotees are coming and doing only seva, 8 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours of daily seva, and book distribution or whatever, many services, but they don't have time to read the books. So we will see that after 4 years, 3 years, 5 years, they will leave. And then we will not know where the devotee went. Either he will be thinking that, oh, actually, there is not much in ISKCON to give. There is no rasa explained in ISKCON, like that they will think and they will go away if they are doing only seva. So whoever maybe they are under us or taking help from us or guidance from us, we should help them in both the ways. That we help them to have very good program for sadhana, as well as give them good engagement of seva so that that knowledge can be realized. Okay, so going on one side of the pendulum will not help. Okay. So as ISKCON's, the very famous statement is more devotees, happy devotees. So we can do so much of seva and preaching and get more devotees. But if we don't encourage them to do sadhana, then they won't be happy. Ultimately, they will go away like that. So both have to be balanced, seva and sadhana. Okay, more devotees and happy devotees, both. So we have to take care of the new people who are coming in and also those who have come and those who are staying. We have to take care of them also. It should not become like a pipeline. Many times Radheshyam explains that it should not become a pipeline. From one side people are coming, other side people are going out. Okay, so if we give them good base from the literatures and scriptures, then they can stay with Shastri Shraddha, good faith they can have. Otherwise, somebody else will come and tell them that, oh, this ISKCON, they are only telling about soul and body. So many times you have heard, so many years you are hearing, same thing they are telling. Like very recently, some famous movie came in which it was shown also that I have not seen the movie. Chetan Charanpur made a video on it. So in that video, it was shown, it was told that how there are people in Kerala who they didn't have some knowledge of their own religion, Hindu religion, from the childhood. And then some other people of other religion, they came and told them, "Arey, your religion, there are so many gods, you are so much confused, whom to, worship and all." And then they went and they basically joined some terrorist groups like that. Okay, some of you may know about the movie, but there are many other instances we see in real life also happening. So that same thing should not happen in ISKCON now. Okay, that people who are in the name of preaching spirituality come to ISKCON devotees, and because these ISKCON devotees, they are done only seva. Daily 10 to 15 hours they are doing only seva. They don't have any encouragement for reading the books. So then they will tell, oh yeah, in ISKCON there are only basic things explained. Okay, and then they will go away and they will join some other movement or some other society, some other sampradaya. So it's not bad they joined some other movement if they are bona fide, but in some way it is lost to our purpose movement like that. Okay, so maybe if you are guiding somebody, please take it seriously. Yes, please continue.
The Lord tells Arjuna, that basically there is no possibility of understanding the supreme truth, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead simply by speculating. For the supreme truth is so great that it is not possible to understand him or to achieve him simply by making a mental effort. Man can go on speculating for several millions of years, and if he is not devoted, if he is not lover of supreme truth, he will never understand Krishna or supreme truth. Only by devotional service is the supreme truth Krishna pleased, and by his inconceivable energy, he can reveal himself to the heart of pure devotees.
Yeah, only by bhakti Krishna is revealed. That point he is saying. Yeah.
The pure devotee always has Krishna within his heart, and with the presence of Krishna, who is just like the sun, the darkness of ignorance is at once dissipated. This is the special
so
mercy.
see, here is a contradictory statement also. He is a pure devotee. At the same time, he is saying that there is ignorance in his heart. Okay. So basically, a pure devotee means he has the pure faith, he has the pure Shraddha, but there are conditioning in his heart, which is impure. Okay, which is in practice. The person is in practice and it will be gradually purified. Yeah. Continue.
This is special mercy rendered to the pure devotee by Krishna. Due to contamination of material association, through many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants Hare Krishna, the dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge.
Yeah, so what things here Prabhupada explained in this sentence? What points he has explained from the shloka?
The contamination is cleared, the impurity is cleared.
Yeah, so one is that contamination. So this is Agyan Jam Tamaha. Okay, what else is explained?
Nashyami.
Ashyami Atma Bhavastu.
Yeah, where is it mentioned? Nashyami. In this line, where it is, in the sentence, where it is?
The dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the pure knowledge.
Yeah, dust quickly clears. Yeah. What else is mentioned in this?
Jnanadipena Bhaswata.
Jnanadipena, the pure knowledge.
Jnanadipena Bhaswata.
Jnanadipena Bhaswata, pure knowledge. Okay, what else? Okay, one more thing I think I mentioned. What else is there? He is in heart, na? Where is it mentioned?
Atma Bhav.
Atma Bhavastho. Yeah. Yeah. And then what else is mentioned? Compare. Yeah, continue.
The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service, and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about the material necessities of life. He need not be anxious because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the long devotional service of devotee.
Loving.
Loving devotional service of the devotee.
The pure devotee, yeah, so that's why he is quoting that verse that other acharyas quoted, that yoga shema mahamyam. Okay, he doesn't have to be anxious. I will fulfill whatever their necessities of life are, whether material or spiritual. Both I will fulfill. Okay, spiritual necessities, he will remove the darkness from the heart. He will clear the ignorance. So as such, we have discussed earlier also. So devotee is not too much engrossed into removing his anartha. He is more focus is how I can practice the five potent limbs of bhakti: Nam Sankirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Sadhu Sangha, okay, Mathura Vas, Sri Murteya, Shraddhaya Sevan. These five limbs, how I can practice nicely. And then Lord is saying, I will myself remove the anarthas from the heart, ignorance from the heart. You don't have to do any separate endeavor for that. Okay, like that. Yes.
This is the essence of teaching of Bhagavad Gita. By studying Bhagavad Gita, one can become a soul completely surrendered to Supreme Lord and engage himself in pure devotional services. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all the kinds of materialistic endeavor.
Yeah. Any question on this shloka?
Prabhu, just a question, but you may not, you may answer afterward. Since we say that Chatushloka is a summary of the entire Bhagavad Gita, is there any literature or article or any reference where we can actually map or correlate it, of all these four shloka one to one, either with the chapters or some references in earlier and next chapters?
No, it is only having this chapter references, no, like 10 point, 10.8 shloka, na, here. If you see, we discussed yesterday. See, this chapter is called Vibhuti Yoga. So the Vibhuti is explained in the first two sentences. Okay, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu Matta Sarvam Pravartate. And then yoga part is explained in these two lines. So here yoga was explained, as I told yesterday. This yoga was explained in the verses 10.9. Okay, that what is this Bhakti Yoga? How to do this Bhakti Yoga? And this Vibhuti is explained. Not 9. 10.10. And 10.9. The Vibhutis are explained also. Okay. And also the rest of the chapter. Okay. Basically, Sambandhigam 10.9 was about that. Okay. And then he is explaining that in these four verses probably. So there is no correlation as such, like this chapter deals with this. Okay, not like that. So Vibhuti, the first two lines are discussing about this chapter. And the yoga is described in one verse here. And previously also Bhakti Yoga was described in many places. So that we discussed.
Prabhu, you had earlier mentioned, and it was also mentioned in some purport, that these shlokas happen to be the center of shlokas by numbers. Is it so? Can you again mention that?
Yeah, 1 minute. This is 10.9 here. Okay, Tesham Satati Prana. And also Machitta Madgata Prana. Okay. And here, this is the rest of the chapter. Vibhutis explained. Okay. Yeah, so actually 10, what happens is there are 700 shlokas, right? So if you take the center of the whole Bhagavad Gita, it comes around 10.4, like that, 10th chapter, 4th verse. So the center is around this only, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's what we discussed earlier. So by the 10th chapter, it is like 53% of the Bhagavad Gita is over when we started. Okay. As per the number of shlokas. Okay, so we'll continue next section. The Vibhuti Yoga. Okay, and before coming to the Vibhuti Yoga, actually Arjuna accepts Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Okay, Arjuna accepts Krishna's position and requests to hear more of his opulences. Yeah, Arjuna Vacha. Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham Sashvatam, Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam Vibhum. आहुस्त्वां ऋषयः सर्वे देवर्षि नारदस्तथा अशितो देवलो व्यासः स्वयं चैव ब्रवीषि मे. Nagnajiti Mataji, would you like to read?
There's a lot of background sound, Prabhuji. I'll try to read.
Yes.
Arjuna said, "You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages such as Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me."
Thank you. So now Arjuna is accepting Krishna's supremacy. Okay. Yeah. So he is saying very, very nice terms. Param Brahma. Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, you are the greatest, like that. Okay. Purusham, Shashvatam, and also Divyam, Adi Devam, Ajam, Vibhum. So many terms he is using. So if you see, they all Prabhupada is translated here. Okay. And then he is giving that, okay, it's not only me who understands this position. Okay. This is about Krishna's position. But it is also that not only me, but there are other saints, rishis, and the Lord himself. Okay, what is saying? Swayam. Swayam is for whom? Arjuna is speaking to the Lord. So Swayam, the Lord himself. We have spoken about it. Where you have spoken? Where, okay, anybody remembers? Where the Lord spoke that he is the Param Brahma, he is the supreme person. He himself spoke in Bhagavad Gita. Where? Anybody remembers where Lord told that I am supreme?
Aham Sarvasya Prabhu.
Yes, yeah, Aham Sarvasya Prabhu. Yeah, that is one shloka. Anybody else? Any other
There is
shloka?
some Pavitram Idam Uttamam, something I just faintly remember.
Pavitram idam uttamam. That was about Rajvidya, the knowledge,
Okay.
not the Lord himself. Okay. So those who studied Ishopanishad, in that somewhere Pavitram came. Antiseptic, prophylactic, something you remember? Shuddham, apap
Yes,
viddham.
yes.
Only you remember.
Ashnaviram.
Yes,
Ashnaviram.
Ashnaviram.
Viddham. Apapaviddham. I
Yes,
don't
yes.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Ishopanishad it was covered. Yeah. So basically he has told earlier, many places also. Okay, and the rishis, Devarshi, like Narada, Asita, Devala, Vyasa, all these saints have also the same opinion that Krishna is the supreme. Okay, so that is being told here. So here the important point also is that for any statement, if we want to give any credibility or authority, then it should be approved by these saints, which we say as sadhus in our Vaishnava language, and it should be also Bhagavan, okay, the Lord himself, and from the Lord only comes the Shastra. Okay, Sadhu, Shastra, and also Gurus, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So any knowledge or information which is there, if it is certified, then it is considered bona fide. Okay, certified by whom? Guru, Sadhu, and Shastras. So here basically four things are mentioned. Okay, so yeah, Arjuna is acting as Guru for all the persons who are reading Bhagavad Gita. Okay, he is on behalf of all the living entities, he is asking questions to Krishna, like that. So Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, and Bhagwan. So these four are very, very important things. If we want to give credibility to any statement, okay, or any thing which we come to know, or we read, or somebody tells, okay, it should have credibility from these four sources. All four is best. Okay, if not all four, at least it should have credibility from Shastra, as we discussed earlier. So Guru and Sadhus, they both speak from Shastra. That's why they are Guru and Sadhus, right? Because they are following the Shastra. And then if not Shastra, then at least previous Acharyas. If not previous Acharyas, at least Guru should be speaking it. If and Bhagwan is obviously highest. Okay. So the order is here 4, 3, 2, and 1. The fourth is highest. Bhagwan, direct statement of Bhagwan is higher compared to what he has told in Shastra. Okay. And what is spoken in Shastra is higher than what is spoken by sadhus, because their sadhus are repeating the Shastra only. Okay. And then the less preference is given to the statements of Guru. Okay. They are also speaking from the Shastra. So something is Guru Praman, something is Sadhus Praman, something is Shastra Praman, and something is Bhagavad Praman directly spoken by the Lord. Like if you remember Nanda Maharaj, that's basically Govardhan Leela. So Bhagavan directly, he spoke against the Shastra. Which Shastra? The Shastra is like Mimamsa Shastra. That is bona fide. But it is not for the devotees. Okay, it is having more of karma theory, that if you do something, you get the rains, like that. So Lord spoke directly against the Shastra and defeated it there. Correct. So that's why 4 is greater than 3, like that. But if Lord speaks against the Shastra, then we don't accept it. Can somebody give an example of Lord speaking against the Shastra and we don't accept? First of all, we may have a question, how is it possible, Prabhu, that Lord will speak against the Shastra? From him only Shastra is coming. But why will he speak against the Shastra? Yes. Somebody can give example when Lord spoke against the Shastra.
Prabhuji, in the
Yes.
Buddha form when Krishna came, because people were involved into too much killing of animals. No?
Yeah, that is one good example. Yeah, Yamuna Laspro, you want to say something?
Prabhuji, this like Srila Advaitacharya's that pastime is there, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is selling Mayavadi philosophy that I am like he's. I don't remember the entire detail pastime, but here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not telling Mayavad. Advaitacharya was saying about Mayavad philosophy, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Oh yeah, that was other way around.
Yeah, Advaitacharya is spreading Mayavad philosophy. Basically, it was a pastime, so we cannot take it as Siddhanta. Okay. It's okay. Yeah, it's not exactly in this context. Yeah, Buddha example is good. Yes, Nagmajiti Mataji.
The example of Govardhan Leela, where Lord Krishna spoke why they should not follow the scriptures and pray to Lord Indra because that is his duty.
So their Lord is speaking some higher principle that we accept. We don't reject Lord's words. Yeah. So that we accept. Yeah.
For
Because
rejected
Lord
example.
For rejected example, like Buddha example is there. Buddha is incarnation of Lord only. But because it's for a particular purpose that he comes and speaks that to discredit the Vedas, so that the next person, Sankaracharya, the next person can come and again bonafide the Vedas. Okay, so that way he explains basically. The Shankaracharya will come and then he will tell about Vedas. Yeah, so Buddha philosophy was for some certain purpose, that because people are misusing the Vedas for killing animals and all like that. Okay, so he spread the philosophy of ahimsa. So yeah, so if Lord also speaks against the Shastra, so we don't take the credit of the Bhagwan's words. So you can see Shastra is how much important for us, that we take the value of Shastra highest among Guru Sadhu Shastra. But if Lord is speaking something from the Shastra and in conjunction with Shastra, then that becomes highest. Okay. So Lord's words directly is highest. But if Lord's words are not directly present, then Shastra is the highest. And if Shastras don't speak about some certain issue, like there may be some recent issues, whether devotees should use smartphones or devotees should eat chocolate. So these may not be directly there in the Shastra, but Shastric Advisory Committee and GBC, they discuss on it based on the statements of Prabhupada and sadhus. They may not be directly in the Shastras. Like that, there are many things. So this is the order which is called hermeneutical order, or Shastra Yukti, basically. How one can decide that which statement is higher. So similarly, Prabhupada said books are the basis. He did not tell lectures are the basis, or the letters are the basis, or the conversations are the basis. So what is taken to be higher preference in among Prabhupada's Pramana of any statement is the books. Okay, so if books are there, something is told in the books in the correct context, that is taken highest compared to what is told in letters, what is told in conversations, what is told in morning walk. All these are very good, but they are not having higher preference compared to the books. Okay, that is the understanding. So this is some small understanding about this topic. Okay, so yeah, some hands are raised. Yeah, you want to share anything, other example?
No, Prabhuji. I just have a very small question here in this hierarchy. If Guru comes on the first step, Prabhuji, but we say that we need to follow our guru. It is guru who takes us to Krishna. So I'm not able to
Yeah.
understand this point. How sadhu comes? I mean, sadhus are given more priority in
Yeah,
comparison to guru.
sadhus are, for us, sadhus are like previous acharya, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, and Srila Prabhupada. Okay, they are sadhus for us, not the people mentioned here exactly. Here Vyasadeva is also there. Yeah, obviously he is also incarnation of the Lord. Narada is also the sadhu for us, previous acharya. He is in our parampara. So that's what I meant. So gurus, like there can be some example when guru may not speak according to Shastra and the people may reject it. So does anybody remember such example when guru spoke against the Shastra?
Ali Maharaj, probably.
Yeah,
Bali
basically
Maharaj's case,
Shukracharya.
basically.
Yeah, basically
Shukracharya.
Shukracharya spoke.
Sorry.
Yeah, so he spoke against the Shastra because he's saying don't worship Vishnu only. Don't give charity to Vishnu. So he is following a lower Shastra basically. He is also speaking from Shastra only because Shukracharya is very learned. Ahead it will come. Ushna Kavi. Among the Kavis, one is Ushna, that is Shukracharya. He is very philosophically thoughtful. He also is following a Shastra, but that is of a lower level, not Bhakti Shastra. But Bali Maharaj had a adhikar of devotional service. He was having a Bhakti adhikar, so he had to follow Bhakti Shastras. So he rejected his Guru's opinion, which was based on lower Shastra. Okay, so that is the point. If sometimes like Guru has not spoken in conjunction with Shastra, then one can reject the statement. Like if one has studied the Shastra, so that's why one has to study the Shastra also nicely. Okay, and sadhus, what I meant, I explained already. Is it okay? Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So yeah, we'll see what Acharya explained. Yes, who was reading? Yes, Smitaji. You are on mute. You are on mute. Please unmute yourself.
Desiring to hear in detail what was just spoken briefly by the Lord, Arjuna speaks by first praising the Lord. You are Param Brahma and you are the most attractive body in the form of Shyam Sundara Param Dhama. According to Amarakosha, Dhama means house, body, light, and glory. That Brahman is you. You have no difference between yourself and your body, unlike the Jiva. What type of body is this? It is supremely purifying, taking away the contamination of ignorance for the person who sees it Paramam Pavitram. Therefore, all the rishis speak of the eternality of you in the human form, Shashvatam Purusham Ahu.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, this purifying two words are there, right? We discussed Shuddham is one and Apapa Viddham. So these two terms, yeah, anybody knows what is the exact meaning of these two terms? In what way Prabhupada used it in Ishopanishad?
Prabhuji, Shuddham is pure and Apap means antiseptic.
Yeah, what is
That I
the
remember.
meaning of that words basically? Yeah.
Shuddham, basically, whoever comes in
What is the
contact
function
with the
of
Lord.
what is the function?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, Prabhuji. Shuddham is pure. I mean, whoever comes in contact with the Lord through any form, like chanting his names and glories, he becomes pure. I mean, Krishna makes anybody can be completely purified by coming in contact with the Lord because he's all pure.
Okay.
And Apapavidham is basically because Krishna has we say that devotional service has an antiseptic property which purifies the practitioner of his sinful habits and consciousness.
Yeah, okay. The first one was right. Shuddha means he purifies anything comes in contact.
Prabhuji, Apapavidham is that Lord is free from all sins.
Yeah, basically, pap means sin. Pap means no sin, and Vidham means he is not touched. Okay, he is not touched by sin. That is the point. Okay. So, does anybody remember any past time where somebody came in touch of the Lord and he got purified?
Dhruva Maharaj?
Putna.
Putna, one example. Yeah. Okay. What else?
Prabhuji, when Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited to Banaras, so all the Mayavadis, including Prakashan and Saraswati, they also got purified.
Yes. Okay. Anybody else?
Jogai Madhai also.
Yeah.
Kubja,
Madhai also. Yes, Kubja also,
Shabari.
she got purified by that. She had lusty desires that got good purified. Yeah.
Shabari.
Shabri. Shabri are already devotee. Yeah, Ahalya, Lord Ram actually placed his feet and she attained her form back. Okay. That curse were released. Okay. Yeah, these are good examples. Yeah. Apart with them, he is not touched by sin, basically. Okay. Yeah, continue.
Baldev Vidyabhushan, desiring to hear in detail the vibhutis which he already heard in summary, Arjuna speaks, you are Parabrahma, which is described in the Shrutis, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. You are Brahman, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Taittiriya Upanishad. You are that which acts as shelter of all things, Param Dhama, described in the Shrutis as Tasmin Esha Shrishya Sarve Tattu Natyenti Kaschana. All things take shelter in him alone and nothing can surpass him. Katha Upanishad 5.8. You are supremely purifying, Paramam Pavitram. I know you as the object which destroys all sins of the persons who remember you. The sages of which the chief are those such as Narada, receiving your mercy, understood the meaning of the Vedas. They thus call you the person beyond the modes, the source of all devas, unborn and powerful, Divyam Purusham, Adidevam, Ajam Vibhum.
Yeah, so yeah, basically the Narada, Devala, Sita, Vyasa, they were explained. So they have understood the meaning of the Vedas by your mercy. Okay. Lord has provided them the Bhakti Shakti and then they have understood. And then he is quoting references for all that. Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada, Arjuna, after hearing the essential 4 verses of Bhagavad Gita 10.8 to 11 in this chapter, became completely free from all doubts and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He at once boldly declares, you are Param Brahma, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And previously, Krishna stated that he is the originator of everything and everyone.
Yeah, where did he speak? He is the originator of everything, everyone.
अहं
10.8.
सर्वस्य प्रभवता सर्वं प्रवर्तते.
Yeah, 10.8, he spoke that, yeah. And then he is saying that these 4 essential verses were spoken, 8 to 11, Chatushloki. And by that, Arjuna became completely free of doubts and he declared, you are the Supreme Lord. Okay, so for Arjuna, Bhagavad Gita is completed. He has accepted the Supreme Lord, Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Okay, now in the next verses, he is going to ask about questions or topics which is helpful for the general masses or the common people who are not devotees. Okay, so rest of the Bhagavad Gita will not be for the devotees actually. Okay, that will be told in the next purport in the coming verses. That is for the common people, like this Vibhuti Yoga, how to meditate on the vibhutis of the Lord. That is like for the impersonalists who cannot accept the personal form of the Lord, or it's for the common people who can see the sun and respect him, respect the sun. Okay, for devotees, these are not active meditation as we discussed in 7th chapter. Vibhuti is not direct and active meditation for devotees. For devotees, their meditation is Shamsundar form directly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. Okay, for the personal form. So, following Arjuna, we also accept Krishna is supreme. This is the final thing for the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so yeah, here is. Please read.
It is not that because Krishna is Arjuna's intimate friend, Arjuna is flattering him by calling him the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Absolute Truth. Whatever Arjuna says in these 2 verses is confirmed by Vedic truths. Vedic injunctions affirm that only one who takes to devotional service to the Supreme Lord can understand him, whereas others cannot. Each and every word of this verse spoken by Arjuna is confirmed by Vedic injunction.
Yeah. So that's why Prabhupada is saying, see, very, very important, these 2 points also. So this whatever Arjuna is saying is in these 2 verses is confirmed by Vedic truth, basically Shastra. Vedic injunctions affirm that only one who takes to devotional service can understand the Lord, okay? And each and every word of this verse spoken, Arjuna is confirmed by Vedic injunction, okay? And others also. Krishna himself tells, and other sadhus, like Hasita Devala Vyasa and Narada. Yeah.
The Mundaka Upanishad confirms that the Supreme Lord, in whom everything is resting, can be realized only by those who engage constantly in thinking of him. This constant thinking of Krishna is smaranam, one of the methods of devotional service. It is only by devotional service to Krishna that one can understand his position and get rid of this material body.
Yeah.
In the Vedas, the Supreme Lord is accepted as the purest of pure. One who understands that Krishna is the purest of the pure can become purified from all sinful activities. One cannot be disinfected from sinful activities unless he surrenders unto the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, so he is explaining that Pavitram, that part of the verse. Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. Yeah. So this Krishna is accepted as supreme. This is Paramam. Okay. And that acceptance, it complies with the injunction of the Vedic. It complies with the Shastras. And also confirmed by great personalities like sadhus. So Shastra and Sadhu both are confirming what Arjuna is saying. So that's how we should study also. It should be confirmed. Yes.
Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and one should always meditate upon him and enjoy one's transcendental relationship with him. He is the Supreme Existence. He is free from bodily needs, birth, and death. Not only does Arjuna confirm this, but all the Vedic literatures, the Puranas, and histories. In all Vedic literatures, Krishna is thus described, and the Supreme Lord himself also says in the 4th chapter, although I am unborn, I appear on this earth to establish religious principles. He is the supreme origin. He has no cause, for he is the cause of all causes, and everything is emanating from him. This perfect knowledge can be had by the grace of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah, so he is explaining about the Aja part. He is the supreme origin. He has no cause. He has no birth, like that. Okay, so unborn. He is Aja. He is explaining about this. And yeah, this is actually a very important point. But Prabhupada is saying Krishna is the supreme person of Godhead, and one should always meditate upon him. Okay, and enjoy one's transcendental relationship with him. So somebody knows what is this? How to enjoy one's transcendental? First of all, we say in Bhakti we should not enjoy. Now Prabhupada is telling one should enjoy. What is this?
By establishing relationship like Dasya Sakhya.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Anybody else?
So would you like him to?
Nityadas.
Hmm?
Jivera Swarupa hoy Krishna Nityadas.
So we are enjoying by. So how we are enjoying by speaking that?
Service
Prabhuji,
attitude.
By service. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Prabhuji, in 10.9 we discussed or like Tushyanti Cha Ramansi. So by sharing Krishna with others actually through the Shravanam, Smaranam, Kirtanam. So by engaging in limbs and also sharing the glories of Lord and the pastimes of Lord with others. That is the way we enjoy.
Okay. Yeah. That also. Yeah.
By chanting, Prabhuji?
Chanting is enjoying. I don't know how many devotees enjoy chanting.
We don't know. It is said that when you chant sincerely, it is Krishna is dancing on your tongue.
Yes.
So that relationship, of course, it is far to
Yeah,
realize
yeah,
it, but theoretically, yes.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah,
like as a practical example, I'll share basically that I keep continuously talking with Krishna, whatever happens around me. So I keep on sharing with Krishna continuously. So I enjoy that relationship with him. Whatever good bad happens, I keep talking within mind actually with Krishna.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah. But, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what exactly Prabhupada meaning here. So you can, yeah, whatever you told, maybe those all things are neat. Yeah. Yeah. Please read.
Here Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If we want to understand Bhagavad Gita, we should accept the statements in these two verses. This is called the Parampara system, acceptance of the disciplic succession.
Yeah, this same Parampara system he's explaining, and then he's saying that many places and further also Prabhupada will say the understanding of the first student, that is Arjuna, that understanding should get transferred to the person who is studying Bhagavad Gita now. Then he has understood Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna has been accepted as the Supreme Lord by Arjuna. That understanding also is acquired by the further readers. Then actually they have understood Bhagavad Gita. If they acquire some other understanding, then it is not they are following parampara, or it is they have got not the right conclusion from Bhagavad Gita. Basically, that's what Prabhupada is saying. So the further students also have the same understanding of Arjuna, then it is understood that they have actually understood Bhagavad Gita. Okay, that will come later also. Okay. Sarvam etad ritam manye yanmam yavadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktim vidur deva na danavaha. Okay. Prerna Mataji, would you like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji. Oh Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality.
Yeah, so he is saying that Sarvam etam ritam manye, ritam is truth. I understand all these things, what you have spoken is truth. What all? 10.8 to 10.11 and so many things previously told. Correct. I accept you as the supreme. Okay. And but what is the problem? Nahi. Certainly not. Bhagavan Vyaktim. Whatever is your personality, your revelation about the personality. Vyaktim is Vyakta. Vyakta means to speak or to reveal, like that. Okay. Vidur, to know. Okay. Na, not know. By whom? Deva and Danava. They don't know. What they don't know? Whatever you have spoken, they don't know. Sarvam etad. Whatever was spoken earlier, they don't know. I know. Okay, I accept. Okay, I accept, but not others. Means non-devotees, basically. Okay, please read.
Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I do not doubt at all what you say to me, but these rishis say that your supreme body is without birth. They do not know about your birth, Vyaktim. They do not understand how you, with your Swarupa and Parabrahma, can be both unborn and born. What you have said in verse 10.2, that neither the Devatas nor Rishis know about your birth, I accept as completely true. Sarvam etam ridam anye. O Keshava, you bind up even Brahma and Shiva with ignorance of your true nature. Ka Brahma, Isha, Shiva were to bind. Then certainly it must be said that the Devatas and Danavas also do not know you.
Yeah, so it's not that they don't know anything about the Lord. They know something about the Lord. They know that we have to approach the Lord when there is difficulty, like Indra and others approach. They don't know what is the confidential nature of the Lord, basically, as the Shyam Sundar, Yashodanandan. That was explained, if you remember, in the 7th chapter. That Rajvidya Rajgoyam also, 9th chapter, it was discussed that what is that very Guhya knowledge. Guhya knowledge is Guhyatama knowledge is not known by them. That Krishna's personality, he is playing as the small cowherd boy in the Vrindavan, that is not known to them. Okay, like that. So that will be understood only by bhakti. That is told many times. Okay. It's not that these Devatas and Danavas, they don't know anything. Even Hiranyakashipu knew that Vishnu, he is very powerful. But he did not accept how Prahlad accepted, basically. Yeah, read this.
Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan, or the Devs and Danavas do not know your beautiful form, Vyaktim, endowed with qualities such as being the Supreme Brahman. Rather, they disgrade and insult you by thinking that you are like others.
Yeah, so these people sometimes disregard and also insult. Like Indra, when the pastime of Parijata tree happened, so he could not give respect to Krishna's supremeness. So it was like insult actually at that time, and even Govardhan Lila. So he could not actually respect, but he disregarded the supremacy of Krishna. That is the point. So what to speak of demons? So even Devatas are doing like this. Yeah, purpose. Yeah.
Srila Prabhupada, Arjuna herein confirms that persons of faithless and demoniac nature cannot understand Krishna. He is not known even by the demigods. So, what to speak of the so called scholars of this modern world? By the grace of the Supreme Lord, Arjuna has understood that the Supreme Truth is Krishna and that he is the perfect one. One should therefore follow the path of Arjuna. He received the authority of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, this is what we were discussing. One should follow the path of Arjuna, means accept what Krishna, the form of Krishna, that is Supreme Person of Godhead, is accepted by Arjuna. We should also accept. Then we have understood Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Yeah.
When the Parampara system was lost, Arjuna was selected to regenerate it. The acceptance by Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. Then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and then only can we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, so the Prabhupada is using this word emulated. Emulate means to follow in the footsteps. Swayam evatmana atmanam vetha tvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Okay. Mutun Patru, please read.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own internal potency, O Supreme Person, origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, Lord of the universe.
Yeah. So Swayam eva atmanam atmanam. Certainly, you yourself know you. Atmanam atmanam. With, to know. Tvam Purushottam. You are the Purusha Uttama. So you are the best among the men, like that. Okay. Bhut Bhavana Bhutesha. Okay. Origin of all living beings, like that. Okay. Bhut Bhavana, origin of everything. And Bhut Isha, and the Lord of everything. Okay. Living, non-living, everything. And Deva Deva. The demigods are called Deva, and you are Deva of the demigods. So Lord of demigods, Deva Deva. And you are Jagatpate. So why Arjuna is speaking in this sequence, that Prabhupada will explain. Okay. So he has started from Purushottama and explained in this sequence, right? So that he will explain here. Okay. So basically, yeah, here the point is that you know yourself. You alone know yourself. Yes, please.
Will Prabhupada. The Supreme Lord Krishna can be known by a person who are in relationship with him through the discharge of devotional service, like Arjuna and his followers. Person of demonic and atheistic mentality cannot know Krishna. Mental speculations that leads away from the Supreme Lord, it is a serious sin, and one who does not know Krishna should not try to comment on Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the statement of Krishna, and since it is the science of Krishna, it should be understood from Krishna as Arjuna understood it. It should not be received from the atheistic persons.
Yeah. So basically, he's saying that Deva and Danava cannot know you demoniac and atheistic mentality cannot know. Those who are envious, basically. So before explaining to Arjuna, he told, I am explaining this to you because you are not envious. Anasuya way. You are non-envious to me. So these people are envious. That's why they disregard also sometimes Krishna. And then another point Prabhupada is saying, this is about atheistic. And there is another point that who may not be completely devotees, or even among devotees, sometimes there will be mental speculation. So, okay, there are two types of speculation basically. So one is mental speculation. Second is philosophical speculation. Okay, so which one we can do?
Philosophical.
Okay, somebody understand what is philosophy? Explain, yes, Mati. Any understanding? Yeah.
Philosophical speculation, one which is based on the Shastras, and it has some base. While mental speculation is always contaminated because it arises from the mind, which is the very place which is conditioned under three modes, while the Shastras are always pure.
Okay. So then when you are saying about philosophical speculation coming from Shastra, so in that the mind is used or not? Mind or intelligence, whatever the person has, whether that.
Mind is used, but a higher intelligence is applied.
What is that higher intelligence?
That higher intelligence which comes from hearing Guru Parampara and scriptures.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Very good. Thank you, Madhu. Anybody else want to share?
Prabhuji, philosophical speculation, why we need to do it? Because so that we are able to understand Krishna by tattva. Because unless we know Krishna by tattva, we may not be able to establish full confidence in devotional services. Basically, we do not know the entire science if we do not know the Krishna by tattva.
Yeah, correct. We don't know. Yeah. But point is, yeah, philosophy speculation, as Matthew was saying, that yeah, based on Shastra, we can do some analysis. Like suppose Prabhupada has told that Brahma's day is these many trillion years, billion years. So the exact calculation may not be given in the book. So now one can apply the intelligence, what one has been given by Krishna, and one can use it to calculate the basically the whole life of Brahmaji or a day of Brahmaji. And one can check, okay, whatever he is understanding, whether it is right. Okay. Not in a mood of challenging that, oh, whatever is told, whether it is that is correct, or having a doubt that whether what is told is correct or not. Not in that way, but trying to understand oneself. That is one understanding of philosophical speculation. So another example Prabhupada gave, mental speculation is like doubting the philosophy itself, whether Krishna is God. Okay, and then philosophical speculation is to understand how Krishna is God. Or he gave another example is that whether Krishna is taste of water. That is mental speculation. One doesn't have faith at all. But the philosophical speculation is how is Krishna taste of water? Okay, he has the faith, basic faith that yeah, Krishna is taste of water, but he wants to understand how actually Krishna is taste of water. Okay, like that. So there may be some scientific experiment or whatever involved, but basically he's trying to understand. Okay, like that. So anything which we may connect on Shastra, like Bhaktilata Bij was explained here. Now one can go to Chaitanya Charitamrita and reference given, and one can understand it nicely and also make a chart based on Shastra. Only he is doing that. And then there may be other section in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu on the same topic. He may combine those two things and make a better chart like that. Okay. Or we did in our sessions also. We had a chart about demigod worshippers, Krishna worshippers, and we took a section from Srimad Bhagavatam, how the bhakti is performed in three modes, how the bhakti is beyond modes. So we went to different sections and collected different points and tried to understand pure bhakti, concept of pure bhakti. We went to Jaiva Dharma and took out some concept. This is called philosophical speculation, where we go to different sections of Shastra, knowing that it is in the same context. It is explaining about the same topic. And then we try to understand the topic overall way. Okay, this is called philosophical speculation. But mental speculation is okay. He's not studying the Shastras, he's not looking what is there in the Shastra, but he is himself thinking, okay, maybe Prabhupada is meaning here, pure devotee means this maybe. He's talking about only perfected devotees, he is talking only about the sadhakas, thinking like that, which is based on one's own intelligence, but not on Shastra. Okay, so there is difference. Or there is word like Prabhava, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava. Now, if you go to the Sanskrit dictionary, Prabhava can have 10 meanings. But what I explained was 2 meanings, source and cause. Okay, he is a source and cause. Why? Because that our acharyas are saying that Prabhupada has told he is a source and he is a cause in one statement he has told. But if I go to a Sanskrit dictionary or somebody is Sanskrit scholar, he may know 10 meanings of Prabhupada. Can I tell all 10 meanings are applicable here? No, that will become mental speculation. Even though he is a Sanskrit scholar. Why? Because that is not the meaning given by acharyas. Okay, if I apply my own meaning, then it will be against the Shastra or it may be something different from Shastra what is explained. So that also will come under the mental speculation. Okay. So that was a little bit understanding about what is speculation. And then Prabhupada is saying what this mental speculation is like serious sin. Okay, so actually there are many pastimes of Prabhupada where he tells this. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. One more example I can give. Mental speculation and philosophical speculation. Yeah. Like Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving 61 meanings of Atmaram verse. Have you heard? 61 meanings Prabhupada, sorry, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given. Yeah. So when Sanatana Goswami asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he told, I don't know what is this Atmaram verse. I don't know what is the meaning. And then there he spoke 10 meanings of it in the Sanatan Siksha. But later Sarvam Bhattacharya explained 61 meanings of the same shloka. So that is like quoting from different places of the Shastra. That will be like philosophical speculation. So generally in ISKCON there is a misunderstanding. Speculation is considered as mis-speculation. Okay, speculation is considered like that. Means something what one is doing is only wrong, or like the word interpretation. In ISKCON, generally the understanding of the word interpretation is misinterpretation. If you tell only that word, then people think that he is doing misinterpretation. But there is also right interpretation. Like the example Prabhupada himself gives, if you read Krishna book, he writes the word Krishna closed his eyes for so many different reasons. Different acharyas are given different interpretations. You go to that section and search the word, you will get the word. Different acharyas are given different interpretations. I think around more than 60 are there. Why Krishna closed his eyes? Krishna closing eyes. So there Prabhupada uses the word interpretation. But somehow in our ISKCON, generally we think interpretation leads to or means misinterpretation, which may not be always right. Okay. That same thing is with speculation. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, please continue.
Sometimes the impersonalists accept Krishna as Bhagavan or they accept his authority. Yet many liberated persons cannot understand Krishna as Purushottama, the Supreme Person. Therefore, Arjuna addresses him as a Purushottama. Yet one still may not understand that Krishna is the father of all living entities. Therefore, Arjuna addresses him as a Bhuta Bhavana.
Yeah, so now he's explaining the sequence of the words in the shloka basically. If you, as I told in the previous slides. So he has used, I think, 7 words here. Purushottama, Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha, Deva Deva, Jagatpate. Okay, so here is the first Purushottama he explained. So many liberated persons cannot understand Krishna as Purushottama. So he has addressed Krishna as Purushottama. Yet one may not understand that that Krishna is father of all unity. Therefore, Krishna is addressed as Bhut Bhavana, father of all. Okay, that is in second. Yeah, read.
And if one comes to know him as the father of all living entities, still one may not know him as the supreme controller. Therefore, he addressed here as a Bhuteshu, the supreme controller of everyone. And even if one knows Krishna as the supreme controller of all living entities, still one may not know that he is the origin of all the demigods. Therefore, he is addressed herein as Devadeva, the worshipful god of all demigods. And even if one knows him as a worshipful god of all demigods, one may not know that he is the supreme proprietor of everything. Therefore, he is addressed as Jagatpati. That thus the truth about Krishna is established in this verse by the realization of Arjuna, and we should follow the footsteps of Arjuna to understand Krishna as he is.
Yeah, so this is third time proposition. We should follow footsteps of Arjuna to understand as he is. Okay. Vaktum arhasi asheshena divya hi atma vibhutayah yabhirvibhutibhih lokan imams tvam vyapi tishtasi. Okay. Yes, who has marked? Aruna Mataji, please.
Vijay,
Yeah.
we have come from 12:30. Sorry, I think I was. Just a second. Okay, I missed this. Sorry. Yes, Vijay. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these words.
Yeah, so now he is asking about, he is already convinced that Krishna is supreme and he is the Param Brahma, Param Dhama, all that. He Bhutesha, Jagatpati, everything he told. Now he is saying that, okay, now please tell me in detail. So as I told earlier, he is basically representing the common people and he is asking on behalf of them. Okay. So that will be told in the purport. Who are these common people? Prabhupada will explain. There are two categories. They are atheists or they are pantheists. Pantheist means those who are worshipper of universal form, or they are impersonalists. Okay, these are common people. He will tell in the purport. Okay. So for them, please explain your divine potencies. What is this divine opulences? This word is very important. Divine opulences. Divya. Here. Divya. Vibhuti. Divya Vibhuti. Okay, divine opulences, like that. So this vibhuti word, this has two parts, vibhuti. So V is like vilakshana, visesha. Vilakshana in Sanskrit we call, or vishesha. Is something extraordinary. Vilakshana. Lakshana is sign or something, and vilakshana means vishesha, extraordinary or exceptional, as Prabhupada will say. Exceptional, that word he will use. And bhuti. Bhuti means like existence of something or opulence. Okay. These words are used. So exceptional opulence is called vibhuti. Okay. This word can be remembered. Or Prabhupada has translated it as also divine opulences. Okay. So these divine opulences can be of two types. It can be material or spiritual. Okay. So we discussed already these material and spiritual opulences. So there are so many material opulences which manifest in this world, like the sun, moon, correct, and the taste of water, correct. So many things we discussed earlier. And spiritual are those which are like the different sadhanas, spiritual sadhanas of Bhakti Yoga propagated by Sakti Avatar of Narada Muni. In 10.8 we discussed actually that part. So there is Shakti Avatar and spiritual sadhanas are propagated by them. Okay, that you can see detail I have told in that verse. Okay, spiritual sadhanas are propagated. That is spiritual opulence. Propagated. Okay, and material opulences that we generally know. Okay. This is 16. Yeah. So here in essence, Arjuna is saying, tell about your vibhutis. Yeah, please.
It is difficult to understand the truth about you. Therefore, I want to know about your vibhutis. Your vibhutis are very attractive, Divya. You should speak about them fully. But it is impossible to speak of all of my vibhutis fully. Speak about those vibhutis by which you spread yourself in this world.
Yeah, so this is Krishna saying and Arjuna answering. Okay, and this is Arjuna speaking. Okay, so Asheshena, speak about them fully. That word was used. Asheshena. Without anything remaining like that. What kind of vibhuti I want to hear about is with those which are very attractive, those which are extraordinary or exceptional. Okay. Those things you speak like that. Okay. Yeah.
Since your Swarupa is difficult to understand and full, I am now curious to know about your vibhutis, expanded potencies in this world. You should describe completely your Atma, attractive, extraordinary Divya, vibhutis, by which you remain in control of Vapya Tishtasi, this world.
Yeah. So remember this words attractive, extraordinary, controller. So these are, we are going to segregate into the list of vibhutis. These will be segregated. So let's say this first is one category where the vibhutis will be attractive, like among the stars, moon. Okay, he is the extraordinary among the stars. So that will come in this category. Then controller, like among the senses, I am the mind, Krishna will say. So that will be in this category of controller. Okay. So a whole chapter will be based on these all categories, which we are going to discuss. First category will be best of the lot, means attractive among all. Like the example of moon will be coming. Okay, and then mind, who is the control of the senses. And third category we will discuss. Okay, Krishna is the source of something. Okay, like that we will discuss. If he is source of something, it will come. Yeah.
In this verse, it appears that Arjuna is already satisfied with his understanding of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. By Krishna's grace, Arjuna has personal experience, intelligence, and knowledge, and whatever else a person may have. And through all these agencies, he has understood Krishna to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For him, there is no doubt, yet he is asking Krishna to explain his all pervading nature. People in general and the impersonalists in particular concern themselves mainly with the all pervading nature of the Supreme. So Arjuna is asking Krishna how he exists in all pervading aspect through his different energies. One should know that this is being asked by Arjuna on behalf of common people.
Yeah, so these are point common people. Who are they? They are impersonalists and people in general, like pantheists. Pantheists are those who are worship of universal form. For them, Arjuna will ask something in 11th chapter. So impersonalist, for them, he will ask a question in 12th chapter. Okay, that okay, which form is the highest, whether your personal form or impersonal form? Because Krishna will tell Brahmano hi pratistham, I establish the Brahman. So that will be there like that. Okay, so he'll be asking on behalf of others. For devotees, Bhagavad Gita is completed. Okay, completed means every devotee has accepted Krishna as supreme. Done. Okay. Katham vidyam aham yogims tvam sada parichintayam keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyoasi bhagavan maya. Okay. Yes, Bhakti Leela Mataji.
O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you? And how shall I know you? In what various form are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Yeah. So it seems, yeah, Arjuna is asking about him, means for him only. Right? How should I constantly think? How shall I know you? Okay. But as we discussed, Prabhupada told he is asking on behalf of other people. Okay. He is not asking for himself. He already understood Krishna is supreme. Like that. Okay. So basically he's telling Keshu Keshu cha bhaveshu. So in which natures or entities, living entity or dead entity, whatever. How can I see you? Like there may be different vibhutis will come, list will come ahead. So how can I personally see you in those vibhutis? So this is as such we discussed, like purport of Prabhupada says that for him there is no doubt. For this is not for devotee. Devotee don't have this doubt. So there are impersonalists who are meditating on different objects of this world to attain Brahman. So for them, this knowledge is given, or there are other people who are the worshipper of universal form that will come in 11th chapter. They want to see different objects of this world connected to Krishna. For devotees, they don't like it will be told that among the japas I am Omkar. So devotee don't start chanting Omkar. They chant Hare Krishna only. Or it will be told that among the vibhutis of Aditya, okay, among Aditya I am Vishnu. Or he will tell, among the Kavis I am Ushna Kavi, I am Shukracharya. So devotees don't start worshipping Ushna Kavi or Shukracharya. They understand that he has got some power which is given by Krishna himself. And they remember Krishna by hearing about him, or if they come to see him. But they don't actively meditate. But this is for the common people or impersonalist, which is going to come with the Vibhuti Yoga. Okay. So here also you'll see that Prabhupada will, another Acharya will tell you. Please read this.
For what purpose you are saying this, O yogi, master of Yoga Maya? In contemplating you intently, parichintayan, and constantly, sada. How should I understand you as the master of Yoga Maya, full of unlimited auspicious qualities? In which object do you reveal yourself, keshu keshu bhaveshu, so that I can meditate upon you? Answer both of these questions. This can be done through describing the vibhutis. Thus, teach me about those vibhutis.
Yeah, so these 2 points are told by the Lord. That okay, why do you want to know this? I have already told Aham Sarvasya Prabhu, Matta Sarvam Pravarti. Everything comes from me. Why you want to know about this? That each and every, how to meditate upon you. So Arjuna is saying in answer this verse, Keshu Keshu Cha Bhaveshu. In what forms can I see you? Tell me explicitly those forms in which I can see you. Okay, like that. And he's asking for others. Okay, so what are the 2 questions he is asking? First is here, how should I understand you are the master of yoga, full of unlimited auspicious qualities? And second, he is asking in which objects? Keshu Keshu Cha. Okay, this is about Bhaveshu. Keshu Keshu Bhaveshu. And then Katham Vidyam. Okay, how shall I know you? And Tvam Sada Parichintayan. So these words he is explaining basically. Okay, Parichintayan. These words he is explaining. How can I intently know about your form, name, form, qualities, and pastime, like that he's asking. Okay, so these 2 questions will be answered in the rest of the chapter. Yeah, please read.
As it is stated in the previous chapter, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is covered by his Yogamaya. Only surrendered soul and his devotees can see him. Now, Arjuna is convinced that his friend Krishna is the Supreme Godhead, but he wants to know the general process by which all pervading Lord can be understood by the common man. Common men, including the demons and atheists, cannot know Krishna because he is guarded by his Yogamaya energy. Again, these questions are asked by Arjuna for their benefit.
Yeah, see, again, Prabhupada is saying same thing. He's asking not for his own benefit, even though the verse saying, I want to know you and all, but he's asking for other. He is convinced, Arjuna is convinced that his friend Krishna is supreme. He wants to know the general process by which the all-pervading Lord can be understood by the common man. So that is including impersonalists and atheists, all these people. Okay, common man including the demons, atheists, and previously he told now, where is it? Previous, I think, yeah, impersonalist. So these all people he is saying. Okay, and they cannot know because Yogamaya Samavrita. Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita, I cannot be known by common people. Only by bhakti I can be known because I am covered by Yogamaya. Like that. Yeah, continue.
The superior devotee is concerned not only for his own understanding, but for the understanding of all mankind. So Arjuna, out of his mercy, because he is a Vaishnava, a devotee, is opening for the common man the understanding of all the pervasiveness of the Supreme Lord. He addressed Krishna specifically as a yogin because Sri Krishna is the master of Yogamaya energy by which he is covered and uncovered to the common man. The common man who has no love for Krishna cannot always think of Krishna. Therefore, he has to think materially.
Yeah, so very clear. This is for the common man, and for Arjuna, he is superior devotee. He doesn't have to do this. Okay, so they want to understand how the Lord is pervading all over the world. But what devotees do know? Lord may be pervading all about the world, but we want to know that Lord which is there in Golok Vrindavan. What are his pastimes? For devotees, that is the meditation, active meditation. Okay, but when they see the opulences of the Lord in this world, like sun and moon, they don't disrespect, but they respect. Oh, this is the energy of Krishna, and then there is some remember Krishna from that. But these people, they don't do like that. They think only about these vibhutis and meditate only about these vibhutis. They don't want to meditate on Krishna, the person. Okay, like that. Yeah, continue.
Arjuna is considering the mode of thinking of the materialistic person of this world. The word keshu keshu cha bhaveshu refer to the material nature. The word bhava means the physical things. Because materialistic cannot understand Krishna spiritually, they are advised to concentrate the mind on the physical thing and try to see how Krishna is manifested by physical representation.
Yeah, so now if anybody asks for whom Krishna spoke Vibhuti Yoga, what you will say?
For me.
Okay, that is what you may say out of humility. But in factual way, what here explained in purport. Yeah, Yamuna will ask.
Yeah, for all of us, but here it is more for materialistic, those who cannot spiritually understand spiritual nature of Krishna, so that they can see Krishna in material form.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, many devotees may not know even while teaching or learning. So this is not told for devotees. Not told for devotees in the sense that it's not direct teaching of the for the devotees. Okay, for everything is for devotee, obviously, as Mataji is saying, but devotee understands that this is more for the people who are not having the ability to concentrate the mind on the Vraja Krishna or the personal form of the God, like that. Okay. Yeah. Vistarena Atmano Yogim Vibhutim Cha Janardana Bhuya Kathaya Triptirhi Shunavato Nasti Me Mritam. Yeah, Yamuna will ask, please.
Oh Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never satiated in hearing about you. For the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
Yeah. So yeah, basically previously it was explained, where it was explained this mystic power previously. What is this mystic power here in the shloka? First you can Yogam Vibhutim. Vibhuti Yoga. It was explained earlier, right? Two places. Yeah. Many
Chapter
devotees may
10
feel.
point,
Yeah. 10 point?
10.8, where we discuss the Vibhuti aspects.
Yeah. That is in this chapter that Krishna is explaining here in detail. Before that, we discussed
Seventh chapter, Prabhu.
Where in 7th chapter?
That I don't remember. 7th chapter.
Thank you for the answer.
Shlokas that we shlokas that we covered after reading about the demigod worship.
Yeah. Yeah, that was 9th chapter also it came there. Yeah, 7th chapter, 7.8 to 11 or 12 we discussed. 9.16, okay, that exact verses you can see 9.16 around that also we discussed. Okay, mystic powers of the Lord. He explained that I am there in everything in this universe. I pervade the whole universe, but I am not in them. Okay, like that he explained. 9.6, I think, yeah. Yeah, so basically he is now explaining the Vibhuti Yoga. He's asking, sorry, Arjuna is asking to explain Vistar. Vistar means to explain elaborately. Vistar, okay, in detail. What Atmano, your own yoga. What kind of yoga? Vibhuti Yoga. What is Vibhuti Yoga? So that we explained in the last verse. Exceptional opulences. Okay, extraordinary opulences. Okay, what nature it can be of? It can be either spiritual or material. Okay, so he is addressing Krishna as Janardana because he is going to remove the doubts of the atheists by explaining Vibhuti Yoga. Bhuya Kathaya Triptir. Bhuya again speak these same things for the satisfaction. certainly it will satisfy by hearing. There is not my yeah, and he's saying I want to taste the nectar of your words, basically. Yeah, basically he's saying describe Vibhuti Yoga. Okay, yes.
But I have already told many times about my auspicious qualities, such as not being born with Ajopi son, Bhagavad Gita 4:6, and about my vibhutis, as in Rasoam 7:8. Why are you asking again? Speak in detail, Vistarena, about your qualities and vibhutis. The meaning of the line is clear. The meaning of Janardhan is as previously explained. Note, chapter 3, verse 1. Janardhan is there explained as the person from whom people who are distressed ask relief. Hearing nectar of your words, tasting through the tongue of the ear, I have not been satisfied.
So he is asking again, basically, to be spoken in detail. Yeah.
A similar statement was made to Sutta Goswami by the rishis of Naimisharanya, headed by Sonaka. That statement is Vayam tu na vitripyayam. Oh, sorry, okay. Thus, Arjuna is interested in hearing about Krishna and specifically how he remains as the all pervading Supreme Lord.
Basically, this Shaunakadi rishis speak to Sutta Goswami that we are want to hear more. So please speak about Krishna. Yeah.
Now, as far as Amritam, nectar is concerned, any narration or statement concerning Krishna is just like nectar. And this nectar can be perceived by practical experience. Modern stories, fiction, and histories are different from the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, in that one will tire of hearing mundane stories, but one never tires of hearing about Krishna. It is for this reason only that the history of the whole universe is replete with references to the pastimes of the incarnations of Godhead. The Puranas are histories of bygone ages that relate the pastimes of the various incarnations of the Lord. In this way, the reading matter remains forever fresh despite repeated readings.
Yeah, so many times we see the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, we read on many years and one gets newer and newer understanding. But if you see the same materialistic literatures like newspaper and other things, like once read, nobody wants to read, and no question was reading it previous day, newspaper. Okay, so they very quickly lose taste. Or even materialistic movies, songs, it may remain in the top of the chart, hit list for 1 week, 2 week, 3 weeks, like that. But after that, some other song comes and that goes down. Yeah, like that. And nobody remembers, even the materialistic personalities, but the devotees are remembered, even previous yuga and so many yugas earlier, who was the ruler, who was the devotee, Dhruva and all. He was in previous Satyuga, basically, not this Satyuga. Still, we remember his pastime. It's mentioned in Bhagavatam, like that. Yeah, and so many actresses. As the time goes on, they have a lot of fear that newer and newer generation is coming, will be replaced. So they all become followers also, either die or become followers of some new people who are younger. So till the time the actress remains young, and then till that time they are following here, and then after that they leave. So these all things goes on in the materialistic society. Yeah, so this will do in the next week. Krishna opulences from 19 to 42 we'll try to complete. Okay, so if anybody has question, they can stay back, others may leave. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Yes, Madhari Nampu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
If somebody does not know Krishna, then does he get the same result by meditating on his vibhuti? The Krishna is all pervading, but he is like is represented by something. And just materialistic, non-devotee, they don't know Krishna. But if they meditate Is it possible for them to attain Krishna?
Yeah, Prabhupada told many times that it's very easy for anyone to remember Krishna, just understand that Krishna is taste of water. And he told also, somebody drinking liquor, then also you can remember that Krishna is taste of the liquor. So yeah, so basically there is a way to begin remembering Krishna. These all things Prabhupada is encouraging. But the more one has knowledge and he's in goodness, he can practice refined way of remembrance, basically, and the result will be more. So basically, the knowledge is there about Krishna. The remembrance is deeper and longer. Okay, like we can see ourselves when we know more about Krishna, Krishna's personality, our chanting is better. At least I see in my life. So chanting is better and it is deeper and it's longer time we can concentrate also. So it's very important that we know about the person about whom we are chanting the names or trying to do bhakti. So that helps. So, but it's okay. We can start even without knowledge. And initially, nobody in knowledge, like we also, when we came to bhakti, we may not have knowledge. So by Agya Sukriti, somebody gave prasad or some things. We came in knowledge and then we came to bhakti. So for everyone, it is like that. More the knowledge is there, even path of jnana or karma. If they don't have knowledge about the path, they cannot do it properly. They will do some mistakes or aprad. So the result will not come so nicely. It will come slowly, it will come. Is that answering your question?
Yeah, slowly they will come to Krishna.
Yeah, yeah. Otherwise, if there is not much knowledge, like we know that story of three people, laborers who were making the temple. So one person only knew that he is making a temple. Other person, they were doing some work. They were just arranging bricks, putting cement. They didn't know the purpose of the temple. So the most benefit will go to that person who is in knowledge, that who is Krishna, he is Supreme Lord, and what are his pastimes, or at least he is Brahman, he is Paramatma. So different level of knowledge can give different levels of result. That's what I understand. Okay. Yes, Aruna Mataji.
Prabhuji, like we have read here and we know this at this point that anything that relates to Supreme Personality of Godhead or Krishna is remains fresh eternally. But I mean, this is what I have noticed. I've also heard it many times, but I just wanted to get more clarification in this. Like while choosing, even if the matter related to Krishna remains fresh forever, but we are always, at least I am always very selective while choosing what to hear. Like if anybody speaks about, or simply when I scroll down my ISKCON Desire app, if there is a Ramal Katha, I'm like, okay, I know this. Prahlad Mastery, okay, I know this. Although I do not know the detail. And plus, so we do not want to, at least I do not want to hear on the same topic, even if it is related to devotees and Krishna, again and again, assuming that I already know and let me hear something else. This is first part. Second part related to the same point is like whatever I have read in Bhagavad Gita or when I read, so those matter where it is mainly specific, where it mainly talks about how a conditioned soul is benefited by devotional services or how Krishna pulls devotees. So that part really attracts my heart. But when it comes to Vibhuti part, like seeing Krishna everywhere, taste of water, so that really does not interest me at all. So is this an offense or I mean, how do we understand it?
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, the first part of the question is um, what was you are asking about?
Prabhuji, basically
What?
question is same, but two
Yeah.
aspects.
What are
One
the
is
yeah, yeah, how you started the
first is
question?
basically anything related to or any discussion
Yeah,
related
yeah,
to
yeah.
Krishna and his
ISKCON
pure
desire.
devotee is
Yeah,
ever
devotion. Yeah.
fresh.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, but
Yes.
I do not write same
Yeah.
taste. I
Yeah.
mean, at least I hope you
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. I
cannot hear
understood. Yeah.
like yes, sir.
Yeah. Basically, see. Um, okay. I'll show one shloka. Little clear.
basically, Ruchi, I just wanted to understand it. I mean, how to rectify this mentality and whether it is offensive or whether because we are practitioners of devotional service, so that is why it is natural for us not to have inclination towards the all pervasiveness nature of the Lord. And plus, how to rectify this tendency of not feeling attracted towards the leelas again and again.
Yeah, that will be told here. Yeah, yatha yathatma parimarjita also. Okay, this is 11th canto, 14th chapter. Shloka number 26. Okay, so what this was saying, yatha yathatma parimrijyate aso mat punya gatha shravana abhidhane tatha tatha pashyati vastu shukshmam chakshur yatha eva anjana samprayuktam. So I'll tell in simple language what is this meaning of this word. Yatha yatha, basically as one goes ahead, yatha yatha atma parimrijyate aso. Parimrijyate, he is, as one is cleansed of metal contamination, anarthas are gone. What happens? Mat punya gatha, my glories when they are sung. How they are, how when they are sung. And then there is also Shravan Abhidhan. Abhidhan means process. Somebody is hearing about the such punya gatha. Okay. So this purification is said to be happening from hearing of punya gatha. Okay. So parimrijyate is cleansing. Cleansing happens by hearing punya gatha. Of whom? Lord. Lord is speaking this verse. Uddhav Gita, basically. Tatha tatha. Okay, so we remember here the word was yatha yatha. As and when. Then tatha tatha, then and there. What happens? Pashyati vastu shukshmam. The person will see things which are more sukshma, subtle. This is not this is not materialistic subtle point. This is spiritual. Okay, why? Because here description of bhakti yoga is there. Shravan abhidhane. So he will see more finer spiritual objects. Okay. Chakshur, example is given. Just like the eye, yatha iva, anjana. Anjana is a particular medicine which is put in the eye. In our childhood also, mothers used to put some anjana. And then the eye will pain for some time, but after that the vision will be having very much more clarity. Some prayuktam, it is used. Okay. So the whole verse is saying, okay, we can read the translation basically. Yeah, read the translation.
When a diseased eye is treated with medicinal ointment, it gradually recovers its power to see. Similarly, as a conscious living entity cleanses himself of material contamination by hearing and chanting the pious narrations of my glories, he regains his ability to see me, the absolute truth, in my subtle spiritual form.
Okay, so from here, I want to communicate to you is that as we gradually get purified by hearing and chanting, okay, what? The glories of the Lord. What happens to us? We gain the ability to see the Lord, okay, and the taste for the Lord increases. Okay, same thing can be told from the verse Tushti Pushti Chutapayo Yad Anughasam. By every morsel of food we take, Bhakti Parishan Bhava Viraktir Anyatra Chaiva Ek Kalaha. Okay, Bhakti and Par Ish Anubhava means the experience of the Lord, and Virakti. All these three will come simultaneously in one's life as one progresses in Bhakti. Okay, so from here I want to say that as much we have progressed, that much taste we will have in reading and hearing. Okay, and the more we read and hear, that much more we will have cleansing of heart. And when the heart is cleansed, then we can see the Lord more and more in a subtle form, or we can understand more about devotional service, and taste for Lord will increase. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could hear hundreds of times the stories of Prahlad and Dhruv Maharaj. Yeah, we have heard, but it is about whom? It is between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit. We have to understand. Parikshit Maharaj could hear 7 days without eating and drinking. But who is Parikshit Maharaj? It is told that he had raga for the Lord. Raga is a stage which comes beyond prema. Okay, after prema is sneha, then there is man, then there is pranaya, then there is rag, then there is anurag, then there is man, which is only in the Vraj Gopis, and then there is Mahabhav, Bhav and Mahabhav, which is only in Radharani. So see the sequence after prema, he is 4 steps ahead. That is called rag for the Lord. That stage, hunger and thirst don't intervene in between bhakti process. But for sadhaka, it is not possible. We don't have that taste. Okay. So now we understood, okay, we don't have that taste, we cannot hear hundreds and hundreds of times. Then what should we do? Okay, so for that, I will tell you one more verse. This is from Bhakti Sindhu. What a sadhaka should do. Okay, let me search that. Swavasana Anusarena. Vasana. So this verse I will show you. Okay, I'm not getting that verse now. Okay. Basically, the verse says Swavasana Anusarena, as per one's taste. Means if somebody likes hearing, reading, or chanting, he should engage in that activity more and more so that one will get purified quickly. Okay, like that. And also it says that one can read in sequence. One may not have the taste to repeat it, so one can read in sequence basically. Okay, so when one reads in sequence, then one can get purified quickly, and then one will be able to come to the stage of hearing it again.
So, is it possible for you to share the reference after the class?
Yeah, I will put it in the group.
If
Yeah.
possible.
Not getting. Yes, Bhakti Veeramata.
And Prabhuji,
Yeah, okay.
can I ask just one little thing? Like you
Yeah.
mentioned, there are other stages which are beyond prema also. So, like conditioned soul in us, are we restricted only till prema level because we are not nityam baddha jeeves? Or is
Yeah,
it
yeah.
there any possibility or reference to go beyond prema also?
No, in this material body, one can attain only till prema. Beyond that, one need to have a spiritual body to develop that.
So basically,
Yeah.
once we go back home, back to Godhead, after there, that Baddha Jeev also has the possibility of going beyond prema. That is what
Yeah,
you are saying, Prabhuji?
Yeah. After basically, the conditioned souls, once he attains prema, then he is transferred to a planet in the material world where Krishna is enacting his pastime. There he is given a spiritual body. There in the material world, which is called Bhauma Vrindavan, he will develop the higher stages. And when one reaches the perfectness of that higher stages, then he is transferred to original Goloka Vrindavan. Okay, that Prabhupada explained many times in Krishna Bhikya.
Yes, Prabhuji. I have heard of this previously also. Prabhuji, is there any lecture or, I mean, is it mentioned somewhere I can read in detail about this? Like how Jiva goes back actually to Golok Vrindavan? Because I have heard, I don't know, I do not remember it correctly, but one of my very senior god sister told me that we were actually never there in spiritual world. And I mean, something like that. And we also do not go there instantly. Like we first get entrance to Lord's pastime in this material world only. And then when we pass the test, and probably then we go back to the spiritual world. Something like that. So is there any lecture where this thing can be heard or understood in detail?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, sloka number 10.11, you said that contradictory statement related to pure devotees.
Yeah.
So there, that statement says, so pure devotees has the conditioning in their heart, which is impure. So, yes, I want to know what type of conditioning and which form. Which form means that is in unmanifested or manifested form. Means how to understand that?
Yeah, basically, there are ignorance. This slide you are talking, this first line, or
yes.
previous this one.
No, first.
Yeah. So basically, this ignorance is of many types. Like it described in Bhakti Sindhu, avidya is there, and there is bijam. Is first bijam, and third is papam. Okay. So avidya goes at the end. It's very subtle. Bijam is the desire to do sinful activity, and papam is the sinful activity itself. Okay, so these are the three forms of ignorance in a person. So first is destroyed papam, the results of the sinful activity are destroyed. Okay, this will come in Bhakti Sindhu. So this what you're saying, it has two forms which are manifest and unmanifest, called prarabdha and aprarabdha. Okay, so these both, prarabdha is manifest in this life, unmanifest is aprarabdha, which is not manifest. They both are destroyed first in the path of bhakti, and then the desire to do sinful activity is destroyed, and then the avidya is destroyed, ignorance, from where the desire is born. Okay, that is destroyed in sequence. So avidya is destroyed at the stage of bhav, actually. Bhav and prema, avidya is destroyed.
Is that pure devotee's term is
Yeah.
difficult to understand actually.
Yeah, we have to see in what context Prabhupada is used. It's not like Krishna word, where everywhere the meaning is same. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, we'll stop here.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुदेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
नमो
Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.